Live now. All right, so we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. All right, we got all of our ammunition, everything locked and loaded and ready to go for the show. Hopefully, the best we can.
Probably
anyway.
probably not. But we're gonna wing it like we always do. So.
Hey, man, that's the best part. I think that's why we get a lot of listeners. All right. Well, let's go. I'm gonna hit the record button. You know that magic record button on my box game. Oh wait, no. Let's get the ticker up. Let's get the ticker on the video.
Press record on all the things.
Yep, tickers up on the tickers up. I think we're good. I think we can go live. Let's try it. Let's do this. There we go. Record here. We're recording, and
a lot of podcasts these days. Tippy toe around everybody's little feelings. The little snowflakes are fragile. But you won't get any of that crap here. Welcome to the Mark G Show. From political issues to cultural issues to current events and everything in between, we're talking about it. And we talk about it how we want, melting the little snowflakes. This is the Mark G Show, and this is Mark G.
What's going on, everybody out there today? Good Lord. It is currently Sunday the 15th, and the United States is fucking burning. Kenny Bloom, what's going on over there on Facebook? I see you down up there, man. How are you? And everybody, let's get everything out of the way first. As always, my brother is my co-host today. Gary, what's happening, brother?
What's happening?
Another day being blessed, not being in a body bag. How are you?
Same feelings.
Man, what a week it's been in the media today for a lot of stuff. Number one, Elon Musk is on pause for buying Twitter. He's got the lawyers coming at him on the Twitter side for releasing some information, I guess, that was involved in an NDA. So that's all going on. Then, of course, we've got all this stuff regards to Roe versus Wade still going on. People are now protesting out in front of Planned Parenthood. We've had a lot of activity in our area, Portland, Maine, which we'll get to that here in a little bit. Some interesting feeds that I saw on TikTok. That's quite interesting. And then, of course, we have a shortage in baby formula. Babies are now starving in the U.S., which is fucking absolutely insane. We've got a possible wheat shortage coming on in the United States very soon. Man, it's crazy right now. It's crazy.
Who?
Yeah, and who? Let's not forget about what we're hearing about who right now. Whether it's 100% true or not, it still should be put out there. So yeah, before we talk about who and where I was saying where we're seeing this information come from, John Tibbs said, if you were out of baby formula and your wife was sick, would you as a man try and breastfeed? John Tibbetts coming in clutch with something right off the bat out of Facebook. John Tibbetts, I don't think a baby's going to get milk out of my tits because unfortunately I'm a man. So there's going to be.
I don't know, when 60 pounds ago, it might have been able
maybe. I mean, if we can find the tit on an almond and milk an almond, maybe so. I mean, it's just. But man, no, it's crazy, right? So there's a lot of that stuff. But before we talk about who and what we've been reading on, what we've been seeing videos on, let me get this information out there first. Everybody in this podcast, what we're saying is, the thoughts and opinions of myself, my brother, and anybody else who may jump in on the podcast from the Wisdom app or from social media. It is, like I said, the thoughts and opinions of ourselves. And it is for entertainment purposes only. Whatever you do with this information is solely up to you. I do advise anything we talk about, if you want to research more, do your own research and look into it. That's the best I can say out of that.
No, do nothing. Follow blindly. Everything you say is gospel.
Dear God. But no, John Tibbetts saying men can breastfeed. Look it up. I don't know. That could be some scary. Men can breastfeed. I think you're talking about the people who identify as men, which is kind of scary in itself. We're not going down that rabbit hole today.
Yeah. What bridge is he crossing right now?
Right. I think he's trying to go
might
down.
be right. Can men lactate? Maybe.
I don't
we have
think
nipples, right? Is that
we do have nipples. I don't think we can
I don't
lactate.
know.
I don't think so. We can't give birth to a massive child. So
I mean,
And that's some scary shit, man. Let me
what
tell
if
you.
they do that fake uterine transplant thing? Isn't that what they're trying? Isn't there? Or is that
Maybe.
fake? That's probably fake. I think that was fake. I read something that was they were trying to say that they're gonna do like a uterine transplant on a guy, and I was like, yeah, but that doesn't like how does that thing get blood? Like how like I don't understand how that would work. I don't think it would work.
I hope like
And I
no.
don't think it's real. I hope it's not real. I hope that was like a parody. I hope I read a parody.
I hope that's parody because it's one thing, right? Whether you believe in God or not, or whether you believe in science, how are you going to
It's
change?
probably like the Babylon Bee, and I'm like thinking it was a real something.
Yeah, man. What's not? Everybody, we're getting through comments right now. For everybody's listening on, Spotify and Apple, we're getting flooded over here today.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw it up. You might want to get yourself checked. Kenny Bloom says, but John Tibbs posted, yes, in theory, men can breastfeed. Male breasts have milk ducts and some mammary tissue. They also have oxytocin and prolactin, the hormones responsible for milk production. Interesting. And I froze, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
We're having some technical difficulties. That's okay. We're going to unplug the camera real quick. And you still got my audio, though?
Still got your audio.
All right, good stuff.
And your backdrop. Backdrop looks great.
Fantastic. Black. Yeah, man. As long as that backdrop looks good, we're golden. All right, so let's talk about this stuff over here. Mr. Tibbetts is talking about that, but we're talking about the WHO. You probably read a lot better than me. Do you have it pulled up? If not, I can start reading it. I was just going to
just pull it up. Pull it up.
All right. Because yeah, if you can read it, maybe I can share this. Actually, if I'm going to share the screen, I'm going to be backing out for a moment here to fix this camera issue. Once you get it pulled up, you can just read from that article. We're getting this article too, folks. Let me tell you where we are getting this article from. The article is coming from strangesounds.org, and this is called May 22nd.
Highly reputable organization, those folks over at strangesounds.org.
May 22nd, the WHO plans to strip 194 nations and the U.S. of sovereignty. Sorry. Did you pull up the article yet?
Yeah, I just pulled it up right now.
All right, if you can read that real quick, I'm just going to.
I am not reading this whole fucking article.
No, just explain the situation while I just fix this.
Okay, so it says the WHO is attempting to push through changes to a treaty that would give them global control over health worldwide. This would help fulfill some of the goals of the WEF, the World Economic Forum's Great Reset. I think they talked about the Great Reset a couple of years back, 99, I think. It's a massive power grab that takes away a nation's sovereign's right to determine its own health standards, which that's probably not good.
Right.
If that's what's actually going on.
Yeah, some interesting shit, right?
Yeah, so they're going to do it this month on May 20. They're going to vote, or a decision will be made between May 22nd and May 28th at the World Health Assembly. I don't know where that is. Where's that? You want to Google that? The World.
Yeah, I'll Google that while you're looking at that? You're reading that stuff.
So there's a video with a couple of people talking about some stuff. And they're saying that it's a threat to sovereignty and inalienable rights. And they're saying it could be much worse than we could envision. It's undemocratic, it's unconstitutional, and therefore it would make the treaty invalid and unlawful. So that's what I'm trying to think about. Like, if that's the case, like if it goes against, are these folks really in charge of everything? Is this even a real article? Is this really happening? Right? Like, does that mean China will be able to say, like, people in America can't leave their house?
Right. Could we start seeing forced lockdowns like we're seeing in other countries right now, especially in China?
That's
Kids
my
can't
concern.
test before they go places. By the way, you asked where they're headquartered out of. It's Geneva, Switzerland.
That's interesting.
So no, I mean, really, if you think about it, if who had control of the United States on any of our pandemic health issues and stuff like that, what would our country look like with that? Would Americans stand for that? I don't think Americans would. I mean, I
What
believe
if they don't have a choice? So that's the problem. What if it's gotten to this point and now they don't have a choice?
I honestly
And I
don't.
say they as in us, we. What if we don't have that choice?
I
So
mean, I
what do
think
you do? So what do you do when some big ass fucking military convoy rolls up in your neighborhood? You're just gonna try to get out and go to the fucking grocery store. You get out, you get shot. That's what I'm saying. Like if somebody really wanted to control some shit, like it really wouldn't be that hard, right? It's like you get that propaganda footage that's coming out of China with them building those cages around the buildings. Is that even real? I don't know. Again, it could be propaganda just leaking out of there, but it looks pretty horrific. You know what I mean? If
it
that's
does.
really what's going on, like, is that their influence in the World Health Organization's pretty influential, right? Like they've poured billions of dollars into. They wouldn't even say they cut off the feed on the conversation that was talking about Taiwan being an independent country. The guy was like, "Yeah, China's doing a great job." He's like, "Yeah, well, we're talking about Taiwan here." It's like, and he just pretended to not even hear him. It's like, oh. And then the feed ended. Like that's crazy. Like, what's going back? What's going on with that? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
are they going to be in charge? Are they already in charge?
Right. But you're saying like if we had people in the streets, I honestly think it's going to be really hard to touch America. If something like that tried to come to our soil, I believe we'd see a lot of bodies, unfortunately, in the streets because there would be a lot of people trying to defend our land.
Yeah,
And one thing that America does have that a lot of countries don't have
it's the
is our
second.
Second Amendment rights.
Yep.
And a lot of people exercise those. Exercise that. Me for one.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot
Yeah.
of them out there.
Bottom. And it does truly go down to who's going to defend it, who's going to go against it. How many of the hardcore far left people are going to try to just bow down to it, listen to them, join them, and also help fight against the ones that are trying to defend our land? I mean,
So let me ask you, what percentage of the population is the far left?
I'm gonna say at least 20.
Not left, not left. I'm not saying, Democrats, because I know plenty of very level-headed people who are Democrats. So I'm
Right.
talking about the
Like
fucking
far left,
talking
like
about those weirdos on
like the lady I'm gonna show later on TikTok that said that she would kill an 6-year-old kid.
yeah,
I
see,
would say I would say far left. I'd say at least 20%.
20% of the country
I would say
is
20% of the country
far left.
left. I
Wow.
could be wrong. I mean, John Tibbetts over here saying 50% in chat.
John's out of his fucking mind too.
That would be insane if it was really 50%.
It's not 50%. I'm saying it's way less than that. I'm saying that these people on the far left, they're very noisy, but I don't think there's that many of them.
Right. You think it's far less than 20% even?
Yeah, I do think it's less than 20%. I think it's less than that. I think they're really noisy and I think they can organize really well.
Right.
But I think for sure less than 20% of the country.
Right.
There's a lot of just middle ground people.
Right.
Most everybody is the middle ground people, right? Then there's even a bunch of fucking wackos on the far right. I'm not even going to try to.
Oh, no, I'll 100% agree. There is
You know what I
definitely.
mean? So how many of those people? It's less than 20%. I'm going to say probably less than 10% on both sides of that. You know what I mean? And that probably makes up 20% total between both wackadoodles on the right and the left.
Wackadoodles. What a name.
I know, right?
No, man, I agree with you now that as we're talking about it, I definitely agree with you. So it's just that we're running into this really crazy time. And to think about somebody coming into our country to try to control Americans on what they're quote unquote for emergency health issues or current pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching a friend of mine right now who's going through yet again, is going through COVID for the first time. He posted on Facebook because, mind you, he sees everything on the media, says he's scared for his life and he's afraid he's going to die. I'm like, listen, man, I was not the one best in the health. I know a few people that weren't that great in health. Our age and stuff like that play into a factor of you're going to be fine. I mean, I can't promise you're going to be fine, but listen, a lot of us went through it and it was a really shitty fucking sickness. Yeah. But We survived. And they play the death card way too much on the fucking media. And that's why a lot of people got scared into getting the jab. That's why a lot of businesses are forcing people to get it. It's either get it or lose your fucking job. And it's sad. It is
Yeah,
fucking sad.
it's really terrible. The thing that's funny is my wife was talking to me this morning about this. So she's Taiwanese, and so she has friends from Taiwan that are in Taiwan. And she was like, I have this one person that says, like, she just goes from one chat to another, right? And she's like, I have this one friend that's deathly terrified right now. Like deathly terrified, thinks this is the worst thing ever. And then on the next chat, it's somebody who's like not doesn't think that it's not real, but just like doesn't give a shit. Like they're just like, let's just, who cares? Just get sick, be healthy, eat clean, exercise, do all the good things, and you'll be fine. Like,
Yeah.
it's funny. It's just interesting because that's like, it's polarization. Like there's a lot of that.
Speaking of polarization, John Tibbetts over here with a fantastic question. Did Bill Clinton really go to Epstein Island? The left thinks he is innocent. I mean, there's images of Bill Clinton on the plane heading to Epstein Island, isn't there?
Allegedly,
right?
he did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I mean, there is images. I wasn't prepared for a question like that, Mr. Tibbet. So I don't really want to get into that, but we could really definitely look into doing a show about Epstein. I mean, that would probably be quite the interesting show. Maybe we'll look into that for next Sunday. I do have a lady, Gary. Actually, I'll tell you what we're telling our viewers. I do have a lady that I offered to come onto our show. She's phenomenal with TikTok. She's brought up a lot of stuff regards to Roe versus Wade. She's brought up a lot of stuff regards to what's going on in Florida with their quote unquote "don't say gay" bill fucking bullshit that people are crying about. That's legitimately just saying let's not talk about it in schools. Let the parents do the education. So I've offered her to come on the show. So I'm going to be talking to her here in the very near future and
nice.
To our show. So she's a very intelligent lady, and I'm getting excited to possibly having her on.
Hell yeah. Sounds awesome.
So yeah, we got Kenny Bloom right over here saying, so really quick, I'm sorry that this is so long, but I absolutely agree with everything. But when it comes to abortion, so say that you're a girl and you go party and get knocked up by some dude, okay, and you have no family and you are not in the right sense of mind to take care of a baby, I think it should be up to the woman, but that's just my thoughts. That's such a touchy subject, Kenny. We're gonna come up to that, Kenny. Everybody has their opinions, right? The thing is everybody scream. We're gonna jump in. This is the problem with my show. We're ADD and ADHD. We jump back and forth to different conversations. One of the great things about being live, people are able to participate. So
keep us on track.
on track, but that's all right. You want to throw us off? Let's talk about this. Everybody hear that Roe versus Wade on a federal level. If they take it off the federal plate, that abortion automatically stops and now abortions are not going to be allowed. That is not the case. Roe versus Wade, by abolishing it out of the court, I can't even pronounce the court right now. The federal courts, it's taking it out of the federal level and bringing it back down to the states, which essentially means the states now going to be able to tell you be able to figure out if abortion is legal or illegal. And alternatively, once again, it rolls down to the voters. It would go against upon the voters. So Roe versus Wade just needs to calm down. And we're going to get into that in a little bit because I want to show you how crazy some of these people truly are and to show you that we do have a big mental issue within our country. Speaking of mental issues, since we're coming down this road real quick, 8-year-olds, they're talking about screening 8-year-olds for depression and anxiety. Yep. So there, I believe I shared the article with you. I was reading it. There's they're currently talking
depressed from.
Well, that's the thing. They're saying that a lot of depression, anxiety from 8-year-olds are starting to spike, and that they want to start.
They think they're treating people like we're these fragile, sensitive little. I don't like the word snowflake. I don't like it, but it's like They
Love that
just
song.
it's fragile. It's like a anti-fragility type thing. Fragility. It's like they're protecting us from like bad feelings, bad thoughts, and it's like those are the things that build character. Those are the things that make you like a better person. Is to experience those, to go through the pain, and then just to be like, all right, so fucking toughen up. You know what I mean? Like life
Life,
isn't fucking butterflies and rainbows.
life experiences is what makes you who you are. You have to go through. I mean, in high school, I was freaking bullied. I was friggin' beat up. I got into fights in high school. I got in trouble. I've lived on welfare back in the day. You got to learn. You got to start from the lows and work your way up. Otherwise, if there's no life lessons and you don't learn from them, what is there to learn?
Some of the best people that I've ever met, some of the most talented people, come from a childhood that was like absolute horseshit. You know what I mean? That it's that anguish. I don't know. I watched this footage online. It was like from like 1902 or I don't know, maybe 1920, something pretty early, but it was like just these little kids walking in the street, and it was like they were like 13 going on 46. You know what I mean? Like the shit
Right.
that these little grown ass adult kids were dealing with is like they would look at kids nowadays and fucking be like, this is pathetic. Like people are pathetically weak nowadays
They're making us
and ignorant and dumb as shit. It's crazy.
You know, it's funny as you say that, and we're talking about mental illness and crazy people. Now you make me want to show this video. That's what I was pulling up. So this is from a gentleman who's Portland, Maine Patriot on TikTok. I'm going to make sure I give him a shout out since it's his video. This right here, you can see that video, correct?
Yep. Yes.
So this is there's a Planned Parenthood protest going on in Portland, Maine. I guess it's been going on. This was May 13th when this was recorded. Just listen to the question he asked and listen to how serious she is.
Kid's about to go into a foster care
where he's
system.
going to get abused.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
And I would not execute that 6-year-old child.
Okay.
Would you?
I would. Yep.
You'd kill the child, the 6-year-old.
Yep.
Just murder him. Okay. Well, I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, me too.
Because I guess if I look at human life as just because we have hard circumstances in our lives, myself included.
Yeah.
And
the fetus is having a hard circumstance and has feelings and emotions and all that.
Oh, absolutely. If you're going to take its life from it,
so it's better for us to grow the number of kids in the foster care system
then kill them. Yes. Yeah.
All right. Have a great time.
Absolutely. The kid's about to go into.
She's clearly got issues.
Did she say she wanted to execute a 6-year-old?
Yes.
Is that what I heard?
He said she would execute a 6-year-old to prevent the cluttering of foster care.
So, I mean, that person
it's speechless. It makes you want
that person's a very unfortunate situation with that one, you know.
That's sadness for humankind, like just to see. And the sad part is,
he was like, you would just execute the 6-year-old, and she's like, yeah. It's like,
I didn't even blink.
Hold on. Maybe let me ask that question again, because I don't think you understood what those words meant. God damn, that was crazy.
Right? It's fucking nuts. We'll go back into some of this guy's videos and analyze some of the stuff that's going on and some of these protests that he's gone to. But so we talked about the WHO organization. We talked about this stuff, right? Now, I know, dude, that dumbfounded me. And I thought about that for like hours after watching that video. I'm like,
weird. It's just weird. It's just weird.
It's extremely weird. But we do have a big problem right now in the United States. A big problem that we were starting to talk about, and then we got sidetracked. There is a huge baby formula shortage right now. And supposedly it's done to recall, but then again, we're having meat issues due to plants blowing up, plants catching fire, and all this stuff. Now we're having a baby formula shortage. People aren't able to find formula on shelves. Built, quote unquote, like I said, this is entertainment purposes only. This is some of the stuff that I've read and watched videos on. Supposedly, Bill Gates is working on some type of special formula for babies, which is
course.
quite
Of course he
interesting.
is. Of course
Like,
he is.
what the
He's such a
fuck?
savior. He's such a good guy. So nice thinking about protecting people with vaccines and lab grown milk. Such a stellar human. He's in great shape too. Have you ever seen him? His physique is fucking epic.
Physique is phenomenal.
Epic. That is the physique of a man who is at peak physical shape.
I do want to point out there, though, after doing some research on this whole formula shortage, for people that may be having issues finding formula right now, please note that it is right now only in the United States. If you are having issues finding formula, please go on Amazon, change your country to Canada, look up baby formula. I've already tried this because I heard about it and I want to see how legit it was, and it does work. Change your country to Canada, type in the baby formula you need. You'll find it on Amazon and you can just have it shipped to your home. Granted, it'll probably cost you money because I'm not sure how it is to ship Canadian products to the US, but you can get baby formula shipped to you from the Canada Amazon. That's just one of the hacks that I saw on there. I'm not sure about the whole making baby formula thing, but listen, I'm guessing they made baby formula in the house back in the day, right? Before it became this big thing sold in the stores and stuff like that. I can almost guess that they made it.
I would assume that there's a market for people to sell natural breast milk because some mothers can't produce, you know what I mean? Some mothers can't breastfeed. And I think that there are women that produce, they turn themselves into little cattle and they produce, you know what I mean? I feel like there's I feel like my brain is telling me I've heard stories of that, but I don't know if that's
I think there is groups out there on
on your
Facebook and stuff
internet.
like that where people can women pump out too much milk and they'll donate it to other mothers who need it. So
Yeah.
there's obviously that route too. Granted, there are some children, for instance, my son was on a special formula. I was telling you about it. He was on a special formula because he had really bad GERD or acid reflux. So he couldn't drink that normal type of formula. He had to have like this really special formula. It's like $45 a fucking can. It was expensive as shit. And you know, we had to give him that. So there's kids with special needs that can't just have breast milk or can't have your standard formula. They need the special blend to help with their acid reflux or whatever. Or they may be allergic to something in there. So yeah, I mean, there's that too. So, but it's just funny that there's a shortage going on. And then we also have a wheat shortage coming, which is another scary thing because
That'll be a fun one, right?
how much food is made that requires wheat? A shit ton, right? There's pasta.
I think everything. I
Bread.
think like so much of everything in the middle of the store, I think, has some sort of wheat.
Hell, beer. Beer has wheat.
Oh, poor beer guys. You guys are gonna be fucked.
They're gonna be fucking-
Seriously. That's gonna be the last market to suffer because it's the most profitable.
right.
So I guess that's one way to look at it.
Yes, India is
You
the
won't be able to get bread or pasta, but you'll be able to get beer.
right. Ain't that fuck? Like India is the second largest importer of wheat. And they just announced that they are going to stop all exporting of wheat. There's been different articles, right? The one I read was saying due to extreme heat. There's others that are saying, I think I even heard some one of the news outlets, it's due to the current war with Russia and Ukraine. So where do we go on the balance of this? Which one do we believe? I don't know, but it's something to look forward to, and it's something to follow because if we're seeing a shortage of wheat, shortage of baby formula, possibly soon a shortage of meat due to the fact of these plants coming down, it almost seems like there's a plan in starving us.
Buy from your local rancher.
Conspiracy
local
theory
rancher.
101.
Yeah, for real though. But it's like, you know, in 6 months, how many more bullshit conspiracy theories will have more truth peppered in them than 6 months ago, you know?
It's scary. It's getting more expensive in the stores. It's gonna make people more desperate.
Dude, we paid $50 for one bag of something from Fred Meyer today, and we were walking out, and I was like, "What the fuck did we get? Why was that $50? We got 4 things? Like, that doesn't make sense. That's weird to me."
Well, all right. So everybody knows, you obviously know that, we're 5 kids, 2 adults, 1 child's out. So we still got 4 kids in the house. We also have my wife and I. We go grocery shopping. I know I froze. We go grocery shopping, and typically back in, we'll say last year, it only cost me roughly about maybe $50 to buy dinner for the night or whatever.
Hmm.
Now I'm in the grocery store spending anywhere between 90 to $115 a day to feed
That's
my
wild,
family.
right?
That's
That's wild.
fucking nuts. And that's to eat good. That's to eat, maybe some rice, some meat, and a veggie, and a side dish. And John Tibbetts saying it's cheaper to eat out.
Yeah, but it's not healthier, so it won't be cheaper in 6 years.
Right, when it comes down to your health.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm weird about that. Like, I'll pay whatever I gotta pay for the food that I want to eat. If it's healthy and it's clean and it's what I need for being a healthy human being, then I'll pay whatever I gotta pay. Food is just one of those things that's it's essential, right? So I'd rather sacrifice entertainment. I'd rather sacrifice a lot of things to ensure that I'm eating quality food and my wife is eating quality food. And yeah, you're right, John. So you can't see it. Mark can't post it, but I'll read it. John's talking shit. He says we're all gonna die someday. Yes, we are. But I want to, if I can make it to like 88 and still be able to wipe my own ass without having any problems, I think that's a good place to be. Because I've seen people who are in their 50s and they have a real hard time getting around.
Yeah, I mean, people have, and it's also your heart. I mean, I've seen people young dying, and it's crazy. All of us, including the people who eat salads. John Tibbetts posted
Yeah,
that.
that's fine. I don't really eat that many salads, big guy. Like, I'm a meat guy. I'm a heavy meat and rice guy.
I do want to make an announcement real quick before we go any further in this podcast. For anybody who's listening right now on Apple and Spotify after we upload this, or anybody who's currently on Wisdom listening to us live, please note that we are going live on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch every Sunday, typically at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is when we go live recording. It's definitely going to be on Sundays. It won't be any other day because, per our conversation last week, I'm down another employee. So I'm currently working 6 days a week for my business, which means I'm only able to record the podcast one day.
You leaned into that a little bit more. You tell me, like, don't say a damn thing. And then you leaned into that shit, dude.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I do want to help out too. We'll take a quick little advo for the podcast, folks. I got a bunch of stickers made up for the podcast. We do have the Mark G. Whoops, here we go, upside down. We got the Mark G Show stickers here. It's just our logo, but I also now have QR codes, which is pretty cool. The QR codes I've got on my vehicle right now, and then people are able to just stick their phone at it, scan it in, and be able to get linked directly to the podcast and all of our social media profiles, which is cool. I'm handing these out for free. So if anybody wants them, just please let me know. Send me a private message on any of our social media profiles, the link will be posted at the end of this video on all social media platforms. But yeah, man. So back to what we're talking about. There's my little commercial. But talking about food shortages and the price, I really think we're coming into scary times in our country.
Yep.
We were talking about who's seeing bodies in the street. How far will people go to feed their family? Prices get too high. They're working, but they can't afford gas to get to work because gas is going up. Gas is fucking going up good. They can't afford to heat their family when it hits wintertime because now oils will say $7 a gallon or $8 a gallon, which is now we're looking at $700 to $800 for 100 gallons of oil to keep your family warm in the wintertime. We're literally coming into some scary fucking times because I'm sorry, it's survival of the fittest. That's what humans are designed to do. We're designed to survive. So when it comes time to feed our family, comes time to do this, how bad are we truly going to get? John Tibbetts.
Yeah, if you got to ask, you can't afford it.
Right. So I guess Kenny Bloom is saying he's commented on. Oh, okay. Kenny Bloom, I did comment on that video, brother. I've just send me a private message. He was asking for a sticker.
Oh, yeah, we'll hook him up. Hook him up.
Right. So yeah, man, no, it's scary. It's like how far is the human able to go to provide for their family, to feed their family, to eat their family? I think we're looking at even scarier times.
Did you just say to eat their family?
No, feed their family. He
sounded like you said to eat their family, dude.
I meant to say
Are you
he
trying to sneak that one in there, bro?
You know, I want to promote cannibalism. What can I say?
Yeah. Hey, look, man, I'm meat heavy, but it's bison, baby.
I don't believe I said that, brother. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to go on this podcast, just so you know, because we are having some major technical difficulties.
You are definitely having some glitches over there.
Yeah, man. And it seems to be like every other week when we start having crashes and stuff like that of the podcast. It's crazy. Like audio is good. The video feed seems to be pretty bad today.
Yeah. Did you hit record on all the right things?
I did hit record on all the right things. You know how much audio editing I'm going to have to do later? It's going to be crazy.
It's part of the fun because you don't have enough shit going on.
No, not at all, man. I need more shit to do. What can I say?
Yeah. Raising a small army, running a business. Come on. You could do at least 3 more things.
Fucking right, I can.
Let's go. Podcast. Come on.
Add more shit. Let's add another business while I'm at it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Jimmy says he just bought a $90,000 boat this weekend.
Baller. Wow.
All right. John Tibbetts throwing out that cash.
What's today? Sunday? Today's Sunday? Shit. I got 5 more hours for me to not spend that kind of money.
I mean, $90,000 on a boat. Well, let me ask you this, John Tibbetts.
And it's going to cost you another 90 grand just for bullshit maintenance.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, the only thing a boat would come in handy on is if the shit did ever hit the fan and you had to go. I would hit the water. I mean, water, hitting the water and finding like a nice remote island, maybe.
Yeah, but you need a sailboat because you're going to run out of gas.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, sailboat would be your best option. Yeah. Damn, what would you do if shit ever hit the fan?
Like not be on a boat.
that would be an awesome show. I think we're going to plan on doing a show for that too. Like, what would you do if shit hit the fan? And bring out a bunch of people who might be willing to talk to us. Maybe even find a hardcore prepper. I can
find my closest prepper and befriend him.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, because seriously, I mean, I'm not much of a prepper, and probably everybody should prep. But remember when Facebook was doing the thing talking about banning people talking about prepping?
You need more ammo.
You definitely need more ammo. You can never have enough ammo, man. But no, I remember doing I remember making a post on Facebook. I shared a post when they were talking about Facebook was coming after preppers. They were banning preppers. I shared the post, and I got hit with a fucking 15-day ban for sharing that post. John Tibbetts says he'll be on his boat eating salads.
Nice.
Dear God. I love this chat. John Tibbetts, you always keep it interesting in the comments.
Right.
I appreciate you. Anybody on Wisdom, feel free. If you guys want to jump in and join in our conversation, feel free to do so. I'm not sure how much longer the show is going to go tonight. We're having some technical issues with the video feed tonight. But, like I said, there's just a few things I wanted to bring up. Oh, speaking of crazy, I'm glad I do these little recaps. The mother and father who's suing their son because they're not giving him a grandkid.
Yeah, that's wild, right? That's in India? Is that in India, right?
Yeah, that's in India. So it's an Indian family that the mom and dad is saying that their son is doing them injustice by not providing them with a grandkid.
That's wild.
Like,
how much are they suing for?
I did not catch the dollar amount. But seriously, like, this just shows that anybody will sue over anything.
There's got to be a legal something, right? Like, can you just sue somebody for something and just have like fake money? Really though? Like, you can't.
I'm guessing so. I mean, come on now. You got people suing their kids now for not providing grandparents. I'm guessing you just sue for anything.
Dude, that's just wild.
Like,
I don't get that.
I don't get
like
like seriously.
Like
Like,
legal counsel that was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna take this case. This is gonna be epic. Like, who's
maybe,
that guy?
maybe they got OJ's lawyer.
Oh well, I mean, yeah.
But seriously, man, like who in their right mind? Like I want grandbabies eventually. You know, I want my kids to give me grandbabies, but I'm not gonna assume if they don't want them. They're like you said, you and I were talking on a private phone conference. Some people just don't want kids. Some
Right.
people want to enjoy that life and enjoy it without kids. Some people want to have kids. Some people have kids with oh shit. You're pregnant. Okay, let's figure this out.
Yeah, right.
You know? Man, what's this? I have John Tibbet says I have a buddy who had to pay the parents like 40,000 to marry their daughter. Religion and beliefs are expensive. Yeah, but seriously, is it a religion and a belief that justify that you have to have kids so your parents have grandkids? I don't think that's in religion or if that's in a
I don't
belief.
know. I don't know shit. I don't know much about.
I guess we have to look into Indian religion and see, but I don't think there's any biblical.
Well, it
Yeah.
might be more just of like a cultural thing. I don't know
Maybe.
though. I just don't know.
Like that's just
I don't know. Like, are they doing this so they could like? Is this a money making scam?
on their
Like,
own.
I just don't know. Like, are they going to set up a GoFundMe for this and then they're just going to split it?
True.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just seems like maybe it's some sort of elaborate hoax.
We'll have to follow that story. I mean, I'm definitely we'll follow that story because yeah, that's interesting. Like seriously, as John Tibbet says, he's looking it up.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing.
That is very interesting. Like, Sarah, who in their right mind would sit there and say, you know what, son or daughter, if you don't give me a grandbaby in the next 5 years, and you know, since you got a good job, I'm coming after you and I'm taking your money. I'm gonna sue the fucking piss out of you because you can't give me a grandkid that I'm gonna spoil, not even have live with me. I'm gonna feed them full of fucking sugar and send them back to your house kicking and screaming and yelling and saying, haha, you deal with it. I only wanted the kid for a
Diabetes.
couple hours. I mean, if they want a little kid that bad, why don't they go adopt?
Yeah.
Oh, you know why? Because they want a grandbaby that they don't have to take care of, to feed, to clothe, to put through school, to put through college. They just want one that they can fucking spoil and then send their way back over to the parents when they're done with them.
I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. I've never heard of something like that before.
I've heard of some crazy lawsuits, but yeah, that is one that's for the books.
Right.
And it'll be definitely one to follow. Let's see. Dowry was seen as a way for the family to give women their share. This is often used as justification even today, despite laws like the 1956 Hindu Succession Act, which gave daughters equal rights to their families proper. That's but see, they're coming after the son though. They're not coming after their daughter. And well, I mean, they're coming after both, yes, but it's not even her parents coming after them. It's his parents. So what justifies his parents, even under Hindu law, to come after him for not providing a grandkid?
There's no way you'll ever figure out Hindu law. Good luck with that.
The groom pays it, he says. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess Hindu law, I guess I'd really have to look. If anybody's out there who maybe is Hindu, I would love to have you on a show. Like, please enlighten us on this topic. Like, this is one that I would be curious on.
That'd be a rad little insight into culture.
Right? I mean, do the parents have a leg on this? I would love to know more about this lawsuit. Do the parents actually have a chance of winning this lawsuit? Will the judge force the freaking...
Well, they still do arranged marriages, right? Do they?
That I don't know. I mean, if they're I guess if they're
wealthy families or something, I don't know.
Right. I mean, maybe if they're full blown practicing the religion, because there's, you know, some people fall off the religion or they do the American tradition. And so I guess
I think India is still pretty deep in culture.
don't.
Like, that's what happened to America. We lost culture, dude. Our
did.
culture is fucking, we don't have a culture.
Oh, wait, we do got culture. It's called cancel.
Guns and bacon, bitch. Oh, sorry. That's different culture.
There is a new culture in America. You know, it's cancel culture, and they're coming after to cancel any fucking culture on our in America.
That's
you good?
Yeah. I don't know what that was. Some chaos going on, but that's all right.
Fantastic. But I mean, yeah, so we're probably gonna end this soon anyways. Like I said, we've been having my camera's probably gonna freeze soon. My video feed's gonna die again. I will try to make sure I think what it was is I didn't do my normal half-hour testing of everything to make sure it ran properly. So I will fix that in the future. This audio is going to be a blast to edit this time.
Yeah.
But if anybody ever wants to join the show, please email me on air at the Mark G Show. Once again, it's on air at the Mark G Show. I welcome anybody on as a guest, whether you're Democrat, Republican, or maybe you're in the middle. You know, I invite all views and opinions on the show because we're in it for conversation. We love having a good conversation. If you can educate us, hell, educate us. If we disagree with you, great. We can have a great conversation. We don't need to have a yelling match. We can literally have a conversation without yelling at each other. You know, back in the good old days when America was America, not when everybody was offended, and now they want to call death upon you because you don't want to get a vaccine. Call death upon you because you don't want to do this. We're living in some crazy fucking times right now.
Yeah. Yeah. There's problems. There's mental illness that's growing. Stress, anxiety, fear, uncertainty, doubts. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of crazy emotions going on. People don't know how to deal with them. They're being protected against themselves.
That they are. I forgot we are going to show some of this. What the hell is this? Let's end this watching with a couple of TikTok videos before we end this feed. I'm going to stick with Portland, Maine Patriot because he's got some interesting stuff here. I can't really see the topic, but it says abortion activists given special privileges by Portland police to harass Christians. Shame on Portland PD. Let's see what this is. Hold on. Is there audio?
There's a woman pulled up pretty loud.
Yeah, turn that down a bit.
Which personally we don't really care about.
Turn that down a bit.
We don't mind the noise, but we're just taking note of the fact that
Yes, there's a part in scripture about playing Ariana Grande at a Planned Parenthood.
we're just taking note of the fact that the police have not been called on a woman who uses loud amplification to blast music out front of Planned Parenthood, but we get the police called on us when we preach just using our voices and lifting our voices to tell the truth of God. But when she parks out front with a vehicle blasting music, it's tolerable and it's accepted. We have a brother that's across the street preaching.
I don't know. That one's not as good as some of the other ones I've seen. But yeah, he's gone to Concord, New Hampshire. I guess I won't do him, but let's see here. The lady I was talking to you about, though, let me pull up my conversation with her. Not my conversation with her, but let me drop this down real quick. And let me pull up her video. The reason why I contacted her, I kind of want to show that. Because, yeah, she has a phenomenal video. And she does a bunch of these videos quite a bit. Her name is Kate. Not your basic bitch is her thing. So she's talking about the Wisconsin
Basic bitch.
Right. Here's another one for you. Here, all right, we're gonna play this video from her because she does talk about another problem. There's also other kids that just got sexual harassment charges brought up against them. They got to go to court for this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you hear about this?
I've just been hearing about it.
All right, here we go.
Happy Sunday, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen of all ages. I know that was backwards. I'm not feeling great, but I had to come on here and show you some fuckery. So in Wisconsin, that's United States of America. We're not talking about Canada here. School district charges kids with sexual harassment for using the wrong pronouns. Using the wrong sexual harassment. So it's a good thing the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty is defending the students because use of pronouns is not covered by the department statutes.
Thank God.
Sex and education. That's for like rape, dating violence, sexual favors.
Thank
all,
you.
all nasty stuff, right?
Right.
That's bullshit to charge these
Correct.
15-year-old kids with sexual harassment because they didn't say the word they. They're 13-year-old boys. Don't put a stigma on them for the rest of their lives for this shit.
Yeah. Those fuckers are having a good time trolling. Let them fucking troll. Like,
Right.
It's just like, why is everybody so goddamn weak and pathetic right now? This drives me through the roof. People have become pathetically weak. weak-minded, weak-willed, physically weak, pathetic. It is so weird. It is so weird. Why? What the fuck happened?
Exactly. Like this lady, I think
So
should be
weird.
awesome on show too. Here's another video she did. She was talking about Biden.
Jesus.
Of Alaskan oil and gas lease. In spite of the market volatility and climbing prices, Joe Biden announced on Thursday, May 12th, that his administration is canceling the Alaskan oil and gas lease. This lease would have given companies the opportunity to drill for oil in the Cook Inlet, an area spanning 1 million acres. Since the land was not currently being leased, the decision does not reduce the amount of crude oil available. It only reduces the potential to mine for oil in the region. So instead of opening up more areas where we could be drilling to reduce the cost of the pumps, Biden's shutting more of them down. Biden cancels Alaskan.
Ain't that some scary shit? Like, I think Biden's trying to destroy America.
I don't
I mean-
think Biden knows what the fuck he's doing. I think he's got dementia, and I think he's going along with whatever he has to do.
Right.
That's
So
all.
yeah, we're gonna talk more about this stuff coming next week, you guys. I plan on working on the show. I'm gonna give the show at least an hour of my time every day this week to really bring something to you guys and possibly have a couple of special guests on the show. Because yeah, we had some issues during the show, and for that I do apologize. It happens, unfortunately. But we're gonna get all that stuff tweaked out. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of shit that you need to pay attention to. The baby food shortage, the formula shortage, the wheat issue coming out of India, the freaking WHO organization, this thing that possibly could be happening. Like I said, we don't know. It could be just a bunch of bullshit, or could it be real? If it's real, it should be scary as fuck, and it should scare everybody. Because yeah, what if the U.S. lost its sovereignty when it comes to a public health pandemic?
That is not a good thing.
Not good at all. So
Good
please
thing.
do your research. Please take everything we say, like I said, in entertainment purposes only, but definitely do your research. If you even have a hint and believe a little bit of what we said, definitely research into it yourself. It could very well scare the piss out of you. I know it scares me. I mean, I've got two young ones. What kind of world am I bringing my two young ones in right now? I'm bringing them into a crazy fucking world, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna make sure that they're tough and they're ready to do anything they need to protect themselves and to grow up to be fine young men. And I'm gonna say men because they are two boys. But yeah, you got anything else you want to bring up, my brother?
No, man. I think we covered. I think we skipped a bunch of coins across a bunch of subjects, and I think we almost finished a couple of thoughts. So
Yeah, I mean that. Unfortunately, our show is.
I'm gonna fucking write this shit down before we start. I'm writing down, like, if we're talking about 5 things, I'm writing them down. We'll get better.
We will get better. I promise you
Get
guys, we'll get better. We're only on our 76th episode. I promise you, by the time we get to our 100th episode, we should be good.
Yeah, we should be writing stuff down.
Right? 100th episode is gonna be great, right? Because we'll just have a whole collage of the show. We'll be like, "Hey, yeah, this is what
It'll just be an edit.
play."
Just an edit here. Fuck
Right.
you guys.
I appreciate everybody coming on the show. I hope that we can get more guests on the show. I hope everybody can be more interactive within the Wisdom app and join in. You know, I want to be entertained. I want to be intrigued by other conversations. My brother and I, there's only so much we can talk about. We got to stop talking to each other on the phone throughout the week. Maybe we'll have a great conversation on the show. Save our conversations for the podcast.
Yeah. We'll just dial this shit in.
Right. That's it. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate everybody. Even everybody's downloaded this on their Apple and Spotify. Thank you guys for listening. We definitely appreciate it. And of course, like I said before in the show, if you guys want any of the stickers, whether the logo sticker or the QR code, send me a message and I will send one out to you absolutely free. Well, let's get out of here.
You've been listening to the Snowflake Melter, the Mark G Show. Mark is your everyday hardworking business owner that loves America, and he certainly doesn't mind telling it like it is. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. To send an email, it's on air at themarkgshow.com. And find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Mark G Show. See you next time.